Chosen one, I need you to stop scrolling immediately. Do not swipe away from this message. This is not a random internet coincidence. This is an urgent divine interception sent directly to your heavy heart. Heaven has deliberately paused your day because a spiritual shift is happening right now, and the universe wants you to know that your silent tears have finally reached the highest court. You have endured enough pain. For a very long time you played the role of the peacemaker. You swallowed your pride to keep the peace. You let them cross your boundaries just to avoid conflict. But every single time you forgave them, they only saw it as a terrible weakness, and they took your pure light to feed their own dark emptiness. They thought they broke you forever. Listen carefully to what I am about to tell you. Those who plotted against your downfall are currently experiencing a terrifying reality. The universe has completely removed its shield of protection from their lives. The arrogance they displayed for so many years is now melting into absolute panic because they realize you are no longer there to save them. They are waking up with a deep sense of dread. You must understand that their fate is completely sealed. The universe has tallied up every single lie they told about you. Every tear they caused you to shed has been weighed on the divine scales. And the final verdict is absolutely terrifying for those who chose to betray your trust while you were only trying to show them genuine, unconditional love. Your enemies will not be saved. I know you have felt a strange tightness in your chest lately. You have been waking up feeling anxious for no clear reason. That is not just regular stress. That is your spiritual intuition detecting the violent collapse of their reality. The energy dynamics have entirely flipped while you were silently healing yourself in isolation, and heaven is preparing a table for you in their presence. You won the silent battle. They always assumed you would come running back to save them. They relied on your deep empathy to rescue them from their toxic messes. But this time the divine realm has strictly forbidden you from interfering. You cannot throw them a lifeline. If you try to reach out and help them, you will only pull yourself down into their sinking ship because their karmic debt is far too heavy. This message found you today because you need a severe warning. A very specific and dark sequence of events is about to unfold. The people who mocked your kindness are about to lose everything. You are about to witness the absolute destruction of their fake empires. It will be a shocking display of justice, but you must remember to stay completely grounded and untouched by the chaotic storm that surrounds them. Do not take your eyes off this screen right now. If you scroll away, you will miss the exact revelation. You will completely miss the crucial instructions on how to protect your energy. The enemy desperately wants you to get distracted and leave this page before you discover the absolute truth about their impending spiritual punishment. They are terrified of your awakening. You have always been the one who took the high road. You absorbed their harsh words and transformed that poison. You turned their cruel actions into your own quiet strength. But the spiritual laws of karma demand a heavy payment for touching a chosen one, and the divine debt collector has just knocked loudly on their front door. They are entirely bankrupt in spirit. They walked around with a smirk on their smug faces. They convinced everyone else that you were the real problem. They spun incredible lies to make themselves look like innocent victims. But the divine light is now shining directly on their hidden shadows. The absolute truth is finally coming out, and their entire social circle will soon see them for the manipulative monsters they have always truly been. You might be wondering why it took so long. You spent countless nights asking the universe why they prospered. The delay was never a denial of your righteous justice. The universe was simply giving them enough time to build their own cages. They were slowly locking themselves inside a prison of their own making, while you were doing the hard work of healing your deeply broken heart. Now the heavy iron door has slammed shut behind them. The locks have been turned with extreme divine prejudice. The key has been permanently thrown into the dark abyss. There is absolutely nothing they can do to reverse this heavy karmic judgment, no matter how loudly they cry out or how desperately they beg for mercy. They are trapped with their demons. I need you to take a very deep breath right now. Let the heavy burden of seeking revenge fall completely away. You do not have to lift a single finger anymore. The ultimate creator of reality has taken over your spiritual battles. You are entering an era of supreme and untouchable peace, while your enemies are left to choke on the bitter ashes of their own ruined arrogance. But there is a dangerous trap waiting for you ahead. Before we go any deeper into the signs of their downfall, I must warn you. The darkness will try to use your beautiful heart against you. It will project a pathetic illusion of pity to make you lower your spiritual defenses, hoping you will blindly step back into the dangerous line of fire. You must stay strong and detached. Are you ready to hear the final verdict on their souls? Are you prepared to step into your new grand identity? Keep listening closely, because the details of their downfall will bring you peace. The dark era of your silent suffering is officially and permanently over, and the glorious era of your quiet authority begins in this exact momentous second. Your ultimate victory is finally here. You wake up feeling completely exhausted. The sleep brings you no real rest. Your shoulders carry a heavy, invisible weight. And every single morning you force yourself to get out of bed because people expect you to keep going. You push through the mental fog. You try to smile. But deep inside your spirit is screaming that enough is enough. For years you gave them the best parts of your soul. You poured your bright energy into their empty cups. You listened to their complaints, while your own silent cries went completely ignored. And when you finally asked for a tiny fraction of that support, they turned their backs and called you needy. They made you feel crazy. But you were never weak. Your deep empathy was a magnet for broken people. You saw the good in them when everyone else walked away. You stayed loyal when they absolutely did not deserve your loyalty. But they did not want to be healed. They only wanted to drag your high frequency down to their miserable level, because your bright light exposed their hidden shadows. You were a target. Right now you feel completely alone in this big world. The phone does not ring, the messages have stopped coming, and the silence in your room feels much louder than a crowded street. You wonder if there is something deeply wrong with you. You ask heaven why you are abandoned by the people you loved, but this isolation is actually divine protection. You gave them chance after chance. You believed their empty promises of change. You compromised your own peace just to keep the relationship intact. And every time you lowered your boundaries, they marched right in and caused more emotional destruction in your life. The constant gaslighting made you question your own sanity. You felt completely drained and lost. I want you to hear this loud and clear. None of this was your fault. You did not attract this severe abuse because you were somehow broken. You attracted these toxic narcissists because you possess a pure connection to the divine source, and they desperately wanted to steal that light. They were just spiritual thieves. They took your energy to survive. Stop blaming yourself for trusting the wrong people. Stop replaying the memories and thinking you could have done things differently. You operated from a place of pure love. You gave them endless grace because that is exactly who you are, at your core. But heaven has seen every single moment of their cruel manipulation, and the divine council has recorded every tear you shed. That breaking point you feel right now is incredibly important. That deep exhaustion is your soul finally saying that enough is enough. The universe had to let you reach this exact level of fatigue. You needed to become so entirely sick of their disrespect that you would finally stop trying to save them. This painful end is your ultimate awakening. You are the chosen one. You are the rare anomaly in a world full of superficial masks. You survived a brutal storm that would have easily destroyed anyone else. And you walked through that dark valley completely alone while carrying the heavy weight of their emotional garbage on your back. But you did not break under the immense pressure. You only became sharper. The random headaches and the unexplainable body aches are very real. The sudden waves of sadness that hit you out of nowhere are not a sign of depression. This is your physical body purging the toxic energy they injected into your aura. You are literally detoxing from their narcissistic poison, and your nervous system is finally trying to recalibrate itself to safety. They always told you that you were far too sensitive. They weaponized your big feelings and used them as false proof that you were mentally unstable. But your deep sensitivity is actually a highly advanced spiritual radar. You felt the slight shifts in their dark energy before they even spoke a single word. You knew they were lying long before the physical proof appeared. They honestly thought you would endure their emotional abuse forever. They assumed your quick forgiveness was an unlimited resource that they could exploit without any severe consequences. They mistook your quiet patience for blind stupidity, but they completely underestimated the roaring fire that lives deep inside your chosen spirit, and that divine fire is now burning their bridges to ashes. It is time to let out a massive sigh of relief. You are finally safe from their relentless emotional terrorism. The universe has built an invisible wall of fire around your energy field. They can no longer touch your pure soul or manipulate your racing thoughts. You have endured enough pain to last a lifetime, and the Divine Creator says your season of weeping is finished. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what heaven just spoke to you. You look back at your past and feel angry. You think you were incredibly weak. You wonder why you stayed silent when they disrespected you. But you are looking at this entire situation completely wrong. Your silence was never a sign of cowardice. It was a highly calculated spiritual strategy that you did not even realize you were executing perfectly. They pushed your buttons repeatedly. They threw cruel insults right at your face. You bit your tongue and held back your burning anger. You thought you were just trying to avoid another massive argument. But while you were quietly keeping the fragile peace, heaven was actually setting a massive trap for their toxic souls. Every time you stayed quiet, the universe watched closely. Your silence gave them enough rope to hang themselves. They truly thought they were getting away with their terrible crimes. But the divine realm was simply gathering undeniable evidence to build an airtight case against their darkness. They were slowly sealing their own dark fate. You were an empath whose boundaries were constantly tested. You deeply felt every sting and every lie they told. You questioned your own strength when you could not fight. But fighting back on their miserable level would have completely ruined the divine plan that heaven carefully designed to trap them. You had to remain pure so the universe could judge them properly. They mistook your incredible patience for absolute stupidity. They bragged to others about how easily they could control your emotions. They built their entire false identity on your gentle and quiet submission. And while they were busy celebrating their fake earthly victories, the Supreme Judge was writing out their absolute final sentence. Your tears were the INK. Do you understand now why you could not speak up? The Holy Spirit physically glued your lips closely together. If you had defended yourself violently, you would have created your own bad karma. And you would have directly interfered with the divine investigation because the universe needed them to show their true colors without any possible excuse. And oh, how they showed their true monstrous colors. When you did not react, they quickly escalated their cruel tactics. They tried harder to break your spirit and provoke a loud reaction. They dug their own grave much deeper with every single toxic word they spoke against you, while you were simply trying to survive the day. They willingly exposed their absolute darkness to the shining light. You are not a weak victim who failed to stand up. You are a powerful cycle breaker who survived the worst. You absorbed the heavy shockwaves of their severe generational trauma. You stopped the endless cycle of abuse simply by refusing to pass that dark energy back to them when they attacked you. That requires an unimaginable spiritual strength. Your silent endurance was actually a special divine assignment. You were sent into that toxic environment as an undercover weapon of light. You quietly gathered all the necessary spiritual intelligence to expose them. You survived the intense psychological warfare. And now, your dangerous mission is finally complete. So the universe is pulling you out of the toxic battlefield and placing you on much higher ground. They are standing in the courtroom of the universe right now. The spiritual evidence against them is mountainous and completely undeniable. They have absolutely no valid defense, because you never gave them a real reason to attack you while you were walking in pure, innocent love. The Supreme Judge is looking at their dark souls with absolute disgust. Their total spiritual bankruptcy is finally being declared. Stop feeling guilty for not walking away from them sooner. Stop telling yourself that you wasted years of your precious life. Every extra day you stayed was another heavy nail in their karmic coffin. The long delay was deliberately orchestrated by the divine realm to ensure that their incoming punishment would be absolute and impossible to escape. The invisible trap is now fully sprung. This is the incredible power of the authentic chosen one. You do not fight your battles with earthly weapons or loud arguments. Your heavy silence alone destroys demonic strongholds. Your sheer, pure presence forces the hidden demons to reveal themselves in the broad daylight, where everyone can see them clearly. You literally defeated them by doing absolutely nothing at all. Breathe out all that lingering shame right this very second. You played your difficult earthly part absolutely perfectly. You followed the silent instructions of your higher self without even knowing it. The painful chapter of gathering evidence is officially closed forever, and you will never have to endure that specific type of agonizing disrespect ever again. You are totally free. The universe is now shifting from the investigation phase directly into execution. The heavy wooden gavel has struck the block. The final spiritual judgment has been passed down from the highest authority. And the severe consequences they are about to face will be swift, terrifying, and completely unavoidable for the rest of their natural lives. They have no place to hide. The time for their reckoning has finally arrived. The great spiritual purge is happening right now in the unseen realm. They thought they could feed on your bright energy forever. They treated your pure soul like an endless buffet. But divine resources always come with a strict limit, and heaven has finally closed the heavy doors on their greedy faces. The feast is completely over. These toxic, narcissistic people are completely empty vessels. They have no natural light of their own. They survive by attaching themselves to powerful chosen ones like a parasite. They drain your joy to fill their own bottomless pits of misery, and they will never stop unless you forcefully break the connection. Something shifted the moment you opened your eyes. You saw their monstrous faces. You woke up from their toxic spell. You realized your own immense worth, and with one swift motion of your spiritual sword, you cut the heavy cord that connected you. You completely shut off the free supply of your premium divine energy. The sudden stop of that life force hit their nervous systems like a violent earthquake. They were left gasping for air. Right now, they are experiencing a state of absolute terror. The narcissistic panic is incredibly real, and it is entirely consuming their minds. They are frantically checking their phones. They are wondering why you are ignoring them. They thought you would eventually break the silence and crawl back. But your continued absence is slowly driving them totally crazy. They are trying every old trick to provoke a reaction. They send fake apologies. They spread vicious rumors just to get your attention, but you give them absolutely nothing in return. Your heavy silence is bouncing back at them and amplifying their deepest insecurities. They realize they have lost their favorite toy, and the loss is absolutely agonizing for their fragile egos. This is what happens when a parasite loses its powerful host. Their physical reality is starting to crumble rapidly. They look tired and extremely aged. The mask they wore for society is slipping because they lack the energy to keep it firmly attached. People around them are finally starting to notice their very erratic and strange behavior. The fake charm is gone. They desperately try to find another source to replace you. They look for new victims to manipulate and drain, but your energy was a rare high frequency that they can never find again. Every new person they meet feels completely hollow compared to your pure, authentic love, and it drives them absolutely insane with regret. They are starving in a barren desert of their own creation. Your energy field is now completely sealed and highly guarded. The universe is upgrading your spiritual defenses to a level they cannot even comprehend. Do not let them breach the heavy walls ever again. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station. You must lock in this protective frequency so their desperate cries can never penetrate your peaceful aura. You are sitting safely above the chaotic storm. You are the untouchable master of your reality. And from this high vantage point you can watch them scramble like confused insects. They used to hold so much terrifying power over your anxious mind, but now they look incredibly pathetic and small. You are witnessing the absolute destruction of their fake earthly empires. They thought their wicked actions were completely hidden in the dark. They manipulated the false narrative so perfectly. But the great purge is ripping away all their comfortable shadows. The divine light is exposing every lie they ever told to ruin your good reputation. Their friends and allies are quietly backing away because the foul stench of their heavy karma is too strong. Their panic is doubling every single day. They know they crossed a sacred line by attacking a true weapon of light. The spiritual realm has placed a heavy mark of judgment upon their heads. Everywhere they go, they experience strange delays and sudden failures. The universe is actively fighting against them because they dared to touch heaven's beloved chosen child. They are haunted by the vivid memories of your pure kindness. They remember how you stood by them through their darkest hours, and that memory burns them like hot acid because they threw away the best thing that ever happened to them. They traded a priceless diamond for cheap, dirty stones. The heavy weight of that massive regret is crushing their hollow chests. Do not feel an ounce of pity for their current suffering. They enjoyed watching you cry. They laughed when you were bleeding emotionally. Their current pain is not a tragic accident. It is the precise mathematical return of the dark energy they deliberately sent into your life. The great spiritual mirror has simply been turned to face them directly. They are completely terrified. You have successfully starved the demons out of your timeline. You cut the supply line and secured your holy borders. Your quiet authority is now absolute and completely unquestionable. But you need to understand exactly how the universe is sealing their dark fate permanently. The mechanism of their spiritual prison is incredibly complex, and you must see how it works. The universe operates on strict energetic laws that no human can ever escape. They thought they were incredibly clever. They believed they could easily cheat the system, but the karmic loop surrounding their lives is now entirely closed, and they are completely trapped inside a heavy spiritual cage of their own making. It is completely secure. You need to understand the powerful boomerang effect of the spiritual realm. Every dark curse they secretly threw at you completely missed its mark. You are heavily protected by divine forces, and those toxic energetic arrows had to go somewhere. So they forcefully bounced right off your glowing shield and returned directly to the original sender. Their fate is permanently sealed because they crossed a very dangerous line. They did not just hurt a normal person wandering through life. They maliciously attacked a chosen one. The universe treats any attack on your pure soul as a direct attack on the divine creator, and that is a completely unforgivable spiritual crime. Right now they are desperately begging for mercy in the dark. They are crying out to the universe for a quick rescue, but the sky above them is completely silent. Heaven has permanently turned its back on them because they stubbornly ignored 1,000 clear warnings to leave you alone while you were healing. They chose their dark path. Karma is not just some ancient philosophical concept written in old books. It is a highly active biological and energetic force. It is ruthlessly stripping away their unearned blessings. Their finances are suddenly drying up, and their fake relationships are completely falling apart because they built their entire foundation on your stolen energy. This closed loop of karma means absolutely no outside force can intervene. Not even you can save them from this heavy judgment. If you try to pray for their relief, the universe will forcefully reject your prayer. They are required to pay their massive karmic debt in full, and absolutely every single drop of that agony must be felt. They are currently locked inside a terrifying spiritual vacuum. Absolutely nothing good can enter their collapsing timeline, and absolutely nothing bad can escape from it. They are permanently trapped in the exact frequency of pain that they maliciously forced you to live in, while the divine mirror reflects their ugly truth perfectly back at them. You might wonder why divine grace is not being extended to them. Grace is strictly reserved for those who actually repent. But a toxic narcissist does not ever feel true remorse. They only feel extremely sorry because they finally got caught red-handed, and the universe reads their dark, deceptive hearts perfectly, without any confusion. Their fate is completely sealed because they flatly refuse to evolve. They consciously chose to remain as energetic parasites. The massive cosmic shift happening right now is actively ejecting these low vibrational entities from your reality. They simply cannot exist in your new elevated timeline because their heavy toxic energy would immediately destroy your hard-earned peace. This divine mechanism of justice is absolute and entirely flawless. No amount of earthly money can buy their way out. No fake public apologies can trick the divine scales of balance. The universe always demands absolute equilibrium, and your long, painful suffering requires a massive energetic payment from those who deliberately caused your silent tears. You are the weapon of light who accidentally triggered this entire process. You did not even have to lift a single finger. Your pure existence alone activated the ultimate karmic response. They activated their own terrifying doom the very second they decided to betray your innocent trust, and that outcome is a mathematical certainty. I need you to let this deep truth settle right into your soul. You are completely and undeniably vindicated by the highest court. The heavy burden of seeking earthly justice is no longer your problem. The divine creator is handling the final execution with brutal precision, while you sit safely far above the chaotic mess they created. Watch carefully how these invisible energetic forces operate behind the scenes. Pay very close attention to this next critical part. The closed karmic loop is squeezing them tighter every single day. The fresh oxygen in their fake reality is rapidly running out, and they are literally choking on their own poisonous lies because they have nowhere left to hide. But you must not celebrate loudly like the wicked people do. You must maintain your quiet authority at all times. You are the ultimate master of reality. You simply observe their loud destruction without ever letting it disturb your deep inner peace, because your pure heart must remain completely clean while their toxic world burns. This absolute finality is what makes the chosen path so incredibly powerful. You never have to seek out angry revenge. The universe acts as your fierce protector and your ultimate avenger. Their dark fate is completely sealed in heavy stone, and you are officially free to walk into your glorious new beginning without carrying their chains. You are probably wondering how to spot their inevitable collapse. The universe is sending very clear signals that their dark kingdom is falling apart. Pay close attention to these three undeniable signs. The very first sign is their sudden and absolute isolation from the people who used to fiercely defend them. Their fake friends are running away. They used to have a large audience that applauded their toxic behavior. They were always surrounded by enablers who blindly supported their lies. But the divine light has exposed their severe manipulation, and those enablers are quietly distancing themselves to avoid the heavy karmic fallout. They are standing completely alone in a crowded room. The second sign is their sudden financial and material loss. They built their entire false identity on earthly possessions. They believed money could hide their massive spiritual poverty, but the universe is actively cutting off their supply lines because they misused the blessings they stole from your pure energy. Their pockets are completely empty. Things are constantly breaking down around them. Important deals fall through at the very last second. They experience strange accidents that cost them heavily. This is not just a string of bad luck. This is the universe reclaiming the stolen resources to redistribute them back to the chosen ones who truly deserve them. The third clear sign is their rapid physical deterioration. Narcissists rely heavily on stealing your bright light to maintain their youthful glow. Without your pure energy feeding their hollow souls, they age incredibly fast. They look constantly exhausted. Their eyes carry a dark, heavy shadow that they cannot hide with fake smiles. The mask is cracking. You will see them try to project extreme happiness on social media. They post pictures with wide smiles to prove they are doing perfectly fine. But their energy feels incredibly dense and deeply suffocating. The great spiritual mirror reflects their inner torment directly onto their physical faces. And it is a truly tragic sight to behold. But wait. Before we go any further, I need to reveal a fatal trap. This is the exact moment when the darkness will try its final desperate attack. 99% of chosen ones fall for this terrible illusion right before their massive breakthrough. Do not let your guard down. The enemy is about to weaponize your greatest strength against you. They know they cannot defeat you with anger anymore. They realize their aggressive tactics are completely useless against your divine shield. So they will switch their strategy and try to use your deep empathy. They will suddenly play the victim role perfectly. They will present themselves as broken souls who desperately need your healing touch. You will receive a random message out of nowhere. It will sound incredibly sad and full of fake apologies. They will tell you that they finally realize how wrong they were. They will cry and say they are completely lost without your guiding light. This is the ultimate spiritual test from the highest court. It is a deadly illusion. Your pure heart will instinctively want to save them. You are a natural healer. You hate seeing people suffer, even if they caused you terrible pain. You might think that heaven wants you to show grace and forgive them by letting them back into your peaceful life. Do not listen to that deceptive voice. The trap is ready to snap. If you reach down to pull them out of their karmic pit, you will fail the test. They do not want to be saved. They only want to grab your hand so they can violently pull you back down into the dark abyss with them. They are drowning in their own karma, and they need a strong host to absorb the heavy waves. You must refuse the call. The universe isolated you to protect your rare frequency. If you open the door just a tiny crack, the dark entities will flood back into your timeline. They will completely destroy the beautiful peace you fought so hard to build. Your absolute silence is the only acceptable response to their desperate, manipulative cries. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your spiritual intuition confirming this heavy truth. You must let them face their divine judgment completely alone. Your assignment as their savior was officially cancelled the day they chose to betray you. You owe them absolutely nothing but the dust on your shoes. Whenever you feel a sudden wave of pity for their pathetic state, take a deep breath. Remind yourself of the cruel nights you spent crying while they slept peacefully. They showed you absolutely no mercy when you were bleeding emotionally. The universe demands that you stand aside and let the fiery wheels of justice turn without any interference. This is how you master your reality. You recognize the demonic traps disguised as cries for help. You hold your strong boundaries even when your empathic heart wants to soften. The fatal trap is now fully exposed in the broad daylight. You are equipped with the absolute truth, and no toxic counterfeit can ever trick your divine radar again. The massive shift is happening inside your spirit right now. You can feel the heavy iron chains breaking apart and falling to the floor. You are absolutely no longer the wounded victim who begged for love. You are stepping directly into your ultimate divine power. The long, painful season of your silent waiting is officially over. The dry, lonely desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor. Every heavy door that was closed in your face is now being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that incredible surge of warm energy in your chest? That is the pure, unshakable frequency of your absolute victory. You are totally reborn today. You are rising far above the dark clouds. You look down at the chaotic storm your enemies created. They are scrambling in the mud like completely terrified insects. You watch their desperate struggles with absolute quiet authority. You feel no need to shout or prove your immense worth to anyone. You are the untouchable master. They honestly thought your silence was a terrible weakness. They thought they had broken your spirit permanently when they pushed you into total isolation. But what they did not realize was that your lonely solitude was actually a rigorous training ground. You did not break under their pressure. You completely evolved. You became the lethal weapon you were simply trying to survive. The profound silence after the storm hits very differently when you finally realize you were the storm all along. Your deep pain was the hot fire that forged your unbreakable sword. And now you wield that heavy blade with absolute precision and grace. You are the true master of reality. From this exact moment on, your powerful energy demands respect without a single word being spoken. The entire frequency of the room shifts dramatically the very second you walk inside. People can physically feel the heavy weight of your pure divine aura. You are walking in supreme glory. Your enemies are completely terrified because they can no longer manipulate what they cannot access. You have built an energetic fortress of solid gold around your mind. Your bright aura is a blazing fire of pure divine protection that burns away any demonic attachment instantly. You are totally untouchable. They cannot reach you anymore. Every single tear you cried in the dark has magically transformed into pure liquid gold. The universe is finally handing you the heavy golden keys to the Holy Kingdom. You are stepping proudly into the exact timeline you were always born to rule. The massive generational wealth transfer is happening right now. Your divine inheritance is ready. The profound blessings they maliciously tried to steal are multiplying rapidly and rushing directly back into your open hands. You are receiving the supreme crown of divine vindication. You survived the brutal spiritual war without losing your pure, innocent heart. And heaven is loudly rewarding your incredible loyalty today. You are highly favored. Look closely at those who plotted your downfall. They are hopelessly trapped inside their own dark cages while you soar freely above them. You feel absolutely no anger towards them anymore. You only feel a deep and powerful indifference because they simply do not matter to your future. Their dark presence is completely erased from your mind. Their wicked names hold absolutely zero weight in your beautiful new reality. Their bitter opinions are just empty, meaningless echoes in a very distant graveyard. You have completely deleted their toxic existence from your holy timeline. They are nothing but faded ghosts of a dark past you have entirely conquered. You never look back. You are breathing the rare, clean air of ultimate spiritual freedom. Your mighty spirit is soaring higher than you ever thought possible. This is the ultimate awakening of the powerful chosen one. The entire cosmos is happily bowing to your sovereign frequency right now. You have officially taken your rightful place at the top. Here is the ultimate truth you waited so long to hear. The real reason they walked away was never because your frequency was too low or inadequate. They ran away because your pure, brilliant light was entirely too blinding. Their dark, attached entities simply could not survive in the blazing presence of your pure, holy fire. That was the hidden divine protection protocol, working perfectly all along to separate you from the wicked. You are the spiritual anomaly that effortlessly breaks every generational curse in your bloodline. You are the rare, bright soul that the darkness could never corrupt or consume. Your quiet authority is now the absolute law of your own reality. Take a moment to fully absorb this glorious high vibration. You are completely washed clean of their heavy narcissistic poison. The universe has proudly declared you the undeniable master of this new era. The enemies are defeated, and your spirit is eternally victorious. The great spiritual battle is completely finished. The pitch-black darkness has retreated completely behind you, and the bright dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. You stand today as the ultimate master of your timeline, and no demonic force will ever be allowed to steal your precious joy again. You are an incredibly powerful being of light. Your enemies are firmly locked in their heavy karma. Your divine path is clear of all toxic debris. The universe has delivered the final judgment, and you are walking entirely free. But you must take a physical action to permanently secure this heavy protective shield around your aura. You must act right now. To lock in this glorious high frequency, you must declare your new identity. Type Amen down in the comments to seal this reality. When you type that sacred word, you are establishing an unbreakable contract with heaven, and you are officially accepting the heavy crown of the powerful chosen one. This creates an absolute barrier of light around you. You are drawing a fiery line in the sand that your enemies can never cross. You are no longer the broken empath who begged to be deeply understood. The brutal crucible of pain has completely forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. Your pure energy demands absolute respect from everyone. Share this message to activate the divine anointing and multiply your own blessing. If this fiery message has reignited the faith inside you, do not keep it hidden. There is another pure soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They desperately need a guiding light to survive. Sowing the seed of hope today is multiplying the profound blessing for yourself tomorrow. Because when you share this transmission, you become an active partner with the universe. You are spreading the bright, holy fire that burns away the heavy shadows. Heaven sees your beautiful act of spiritual obedience. Your silent authority is now the absolute law in your life. You walk into rooms, and the dark entities immediately flee from your presence. You smile because you know the universe is fiercely guarding your every single step. The long days of crying in lonely isolation are officially gone. Let your powerful spirit rest in this immense peace today. You have fought the good fight while the world mocked your gentle kindness. But the Supreme Creator always saves the greatest rewards for those who endure the hardest battles without losing their pure hearts. You absolutely survived the storm. Do not forget to hit the like button to activate the continuous flow of divine favor. Subscribe to the channel right now to anchor yourself at the highest vibrational frequency. You need to stay plugged into this holy station so your energy remains entirely protected from outside noise. The final spiritual seal has been placed firmly upon your soul. The divine angels are surrounding your physical body right this very second. You are safe from the narcissistic storms and the toxic games they play. Walk forward into your glorious new destiny with your head held incredibly high. Nobody can ever take away what the universe has personally handed to you today. You are the brave cycle breaker who changed your entire bloodline forever. Future generations will remember your quiet strength and they will thank you for breaking the heavy curse. You are a true, living legend. The divine transfer of wealth and deep peace is currently being processed in your holy name, and you just need to keep your pure heart open to receive the massive flood of blessings. Let the supreme energy wash over your tired bones and completely restore your wounded soul. You are finally completely safe. Say it loud, so the unseen spiritual realm hears you perfectly. Declare that you are officially done with their toxic manipulation. Declare that your sacred energy is no longer available for cheap public consumption. The universe is loudly applauding your brave and final decision today. Stay in this beautiful bright light and never let them pull you back down, because the toxic enemies are sinking deeply in their own heavy karma while you are flying on golden eagle wings. I am so incredibly proud of you for holding the line. Your majestic kingdom awaits your arrival, chosen one. This is your beautiful new beginning today. Close your eyes and feel the absolute warmth of divine approval resting on your tired shoulders. Your enemies will not be saved, but you are eternally protected. Go forth right now and conquer your new reality. The divine universe loves you endlessly and completely.